in last month's episode.
Practice of manifestation. And this great practice I use as a guiding light to weather through this time of uncertainty, adversity, and turning it into an opportunity. But the question still remains, what if I don't actually know what is it that truly makes me happy, my greatest desire? And it's okay if you don't know the answer to that, because I too was in that position not that long ago. The great artist Picasso once said, "The meaning of life is about finding your gift, but the purpose of life is about giving it away." So what I want to talk about today is why it is important or essential to discover our gift, our art, and how can we do so? How can we find our art, our gift, through my own personal journey? Sounds good? So let's start with, why is it important to discover our art or our gift? Well, since birth, we've been told, we've been conditioned to go to school, maybe graduate from university, and then from there we proceed to finding a job, and maybe that job eventually pays well with a great title. Maybe we get married and have kids, and then we work all the way through until this thing we call retirement. And in this retirement, all we've got waiting for us is this inevitability of death. Unless this is what really brings you joy, following this certain structure, then good on you if you do so. But I ask myself, where is the living? What is this purpose of life? Which brings me to a concept the Japanese uses. It's called Ikigai, which means reason for being. And this concept of Ikigai is about discovering your passion, your mission, your vocation, and your profession, combining it all together into a perfect harmony. Therefore, you've got Ikigai. So why is it important to discover this Ikigai of yours, or this art of yours, this truth of yours? Well, wouldn't it be great if you feel like you don't have to work another day in your life? Wouldn't it be great if you feel like you'd never ever have to retire, waiting for this inevitability of death, because you enjoy every moment of whatever it is that you do? But the question still remains, how do you find this art of yours, this gift of yours? To answer that question, let me start with a story. So recently, after the lockdown here has ended in Sydney, I visited a close friend of mine. His name's Andrew. And Andrew recently became a parent. And when I was hanging out with him, he brought his child with him. He looked at the child and he said, "She is perfect as she is right this moment." And which reminded me of a book which I read a while back. The name is The Fifth Agreements by Miguel Don Ruiz. In that book, he talked about how we are born perfect. We are perfect in our own ways. Even when we die, we are perfect. But somewhere along the lines, we've been told this big lie. We've been told what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is bad, what is acceptable and what is unacceptable in this society. And so we start to believe this lie, and we start pursuing this idea of perfection, and that we'll never become, because we are unique in our own ways. And so this is the problem with happiness. That means the work to find our own happiness is by undoing those lies, one by one. And how can we do so? How can we uncover and undo those lies so we can become our unique artists? Let's return to that concept of Ikigai, this reason for being. Ask yourself those questions, starting with, what is it that you're good at? Ask yourself that question. Start writing them down, list them. And then ask yourself, what is it that you love doing? Combine those two questions, what you're good at and what you love doing. Or another way of saying it is, what are the things which make you feel most alive? Once you start to narrow that down, then you can ask yourself, this talent of mine, this art of mine, how can others benefit from it? Or how can I be in service to others through my talents, through my art? And so once you start to narrow that down, only then you can ask yourself, how can I get paid for it? Or how can I transition my livelihood from this talent of mine? And this work of discovering your Ikigai, it is work that you need to continue doing. It's an ongoing journey and you need to do the work, nobody else. And even if you think you found your Ikigai, the work continues because you need to continue refining your skills. And as you grow as a person, this idea of Ikigai of yours will continue to grow and evolve with you. But what you get in return is that you find this true joy, this true happiness in this pursuit of your reason for being. So how does this work in practice, you might ask? Discovering this Ikigai of yours, this reason for being. I can only speak from experience, so let me share you my story today. I'm not someone who always knew what I wanted to do. In fact, I was happy just to follow the social norm. Finished school, graduated from university, got myself that corporate job, and slowly progressing through that corporate ladder, and maybe get married one day, have kids, and then work through all the way up to retirement. But it's not until I face some life-changing events like facing my own mortality, losing a close friend of mine, and most recently, losing that corporate job, that thing that I thought I always wanted all my life, and that I start to gain this motivation to discover my Ikigai, my truth, this reason for being. And this journey started from a person who believed that I have no artistic talent whatsoever. I mean, to this day, I don't think I'm very good at drawing or painting. I'm not really good at singing. And I wouldn't say I'm really the best with words either. And eventually discovering this talent of mine, this talent for culinary and storytelling. And then eventually refining those skills to the point where I wanted to share this gift of mine for the love of others. And as I continue to follow down this path, I wanted to start transition my life with these talents, essentially. And this path is still in progress and it's still ongoing. But along this way, I have shared and learned many things, and I'd love to share them today. So a couple of tips. Number one, be willing to be honest with yourself. Confront yourself those questions, those confronting questions from time and time again. Like, is this art of mine, is it really my passion? Is this really my truth? Or is it just simply pleasing others or wanting to look good in front of others? They're very subtle difference, but it makes all the difference. Number two, open your mind to the possibilities. This possibility beyond what you think is realistic. Because as cliche as it sounds, we only have this one life. Why not go for that thing that scares you the most, but really gives you joy? This truth of yours. And number three, give yourself that space. Ask yourself those questions and remove yourself from any distractions when you do ask yourself those deep self-inquired questions like, what is it that you're good at? What's your talent? What is it that you love? What really is what the world needs, and how can you use this talent of yours to service others? And finally, transition that into your livelihood. And it's going to take multiple sessions. Don't expect it to be done in one sitting. And so, which brings me to my fourth point. Trust and have patience in the process. Patience in yourself. Because this journey of discovering your Ikigai, this truth of yours, is an ongoing journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And most importantly, number five, have the courage and belief, which means give things a go, even if it means to fail and learn from those failures. I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't go for that dish or those multiple dishes which I failed and learn from in each moment of that. And most importantly, belief. Believe in yourself. This reality that you always wanted exists today, which is a full circle from that concept and that power of manifestation. The fact that you're doing something about it right now, the fact that you're inquiring about it, means part of that reality already exists today. And it's a journey. This pursuit of your reason for being, this Ikigai, is like falling in love. It's an ongoing journey of many ups and downs, many things to celebrate, which you will truly cherish to the rest of your life, but also many things which will create a lot of doubts. So each moment is a growing opportunity where the outcome itself is uncertain. And all you can really do is surrender to that process and do it with the intention for the good of others, to give to others. And hopefully Monday, the money will come. And whatever happens, it will happen for the best. So pursue it with all your heart. And it will give you joy, as Picasso once said. It will give you the meaning and purpose to this game we call life. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed that content. And if you do, please do subscribe me, particularly on YouTube, Home Chef Willie. And also, please do hit me up for any questions, or if you just want to have a chat about this topic or anything at all. And like always with these videos, I like to just provide my couple of quick thanks to people in my life. Firstly, to the Brotherhood of Shambhala Warrior, who's given me the space to speak my truth and practice my truth, but also learn from the truth of others. So thank you guys. Number 2, to my friend Andrew, who reminded me that we're all perfect beings and we simply need to discover our own unique self. And lastly, to my dear friend Sigmund, for being in this journey as culinary artists. Thank you guys for listening. I hope to catch you guys all soon.